Mm, Internet. Okay. Hello, viewers. We'll Jenny is going on stage again.
Ekta, you are visible and audible as well. So,
Okay. So yeah, I think we are visible and audible now. So hello guys, welcome to our new webinar on Tax Planner live demo. Like we all know, 31st March is nearing and the financial year is coming to a close. We should also be closing curtains on our financial goals as well. So be it your investment plans, be it your insurance plans, anything. Yeah. Sorry for the technical glitch. So I'll start again. Welcome to our webinar on Tax Planner live demo. So since we know 31st March is nearing and our financial year is coming to a close, we also need to close curtains on our financial goals. Be it about buying insurance plans, ELSs, or your investments, all has to be completed by 31st March because all of this will have an impact on your tax planning, tax filing, which will happen in July. So I think you need to begin, or probably if you have not begun with your tax planning, I think this is the right place for you to start at least. And you have just about 4 days. And we have our in house product expert, Abhishek Paul, with us, who has built a wonderful tax planning tool. And he'll walk us through the product today. Welcome, Abhishek.
yeah, thank you so much, Ekta, for that brief introduction. And as you have, rightly pointed out that since we are nearing the fiscal year end, this is the right time for anyone who is, liable to pay taxes to, optimize their tax savings to the maximum, right? So let me quickly start with a brief introduction about the product, which we call as Tax Optimizer or Tax Planning Optimizer, right? Tax Planning Optimizer is an effective tool that will help any user to maximize their tax savings. Any user can plan their investments, they can save more money using recommendations that are provided by the tool, right? And one of the USPs of the product is customized recommendations. We do not believe offering or showing anything very generic to the users, because we feel that the kind of investments that anyone would do would not be the same, right, as and what is being done by the peers. For instance, if you're still, determining the most suitable tax regime, the tool will suggest the most effective tax regime based on your income, based on whatever investments you have declared, right? And it will also analyze the additional tax saving deductions, which you can, further avail to obtain tax relief and get a higher enhanced salary. Having said so, the objective of this tool is to help any users reduce their tax liability by taking advantage of all the income tax law, any kind of provisions that they might have missed while declaring those kind of things to their respective HR teams. any deductions which are applicable to their situation, right? Yeah, so that's a brief about what the tax optimizer product is all about. Yeah. So I think Ekta has dropped off. There might be some technical glitch, but let me continue the discussion. So you must be, wondering, right, why we have launched this particular product, because we have been, in business, helping, users like yourself file your income tax returns via us, right? So let me, quickly share my deck and take the first 5 to 10 minutes in order to, explain you what is our motivation behind the product, right? Okay. Hope my screen is visible. Okay. If my screen is visible, can someone confirm it by giving a thumbs up on the chat box, please? Okay. Hello. Am I audible, guys? If someone can confirm.
Yes, yes, Abhishek, you are.
Okay. So Ekta, I was just, checking if my screen is visible to you and the audience.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay, great. Fine. So I was, talking about the motivation behind building this product, right? So
Yes.
what we did after, 31st July or post the season ended last year, right? We went back to all our users. We understood from them, took feedback from them, and later on realized that, a lot of users have not, optimized their tax savings to the maximum, right? They might have, declared some tax saving instruments, but they might have, saved more taxes by declaring few more investment avenues or some other deductions where they can put in money, right? So overall, we saw that, 70% of the users currently do not, plan their taxes properly, and they end up paying or losing approximately up to 40,000 rupees annually, right, year on year. Now, what are the reasons behind it? Most of this is, being poorly guided, because as a user or as a salaried employee, I might not have the availability of going to a CA or a tax expert. I do not have a proper guidance. Majority of the users end up paying more than what they should have ideally paid, right? When it comes to taxes.
Right.
The second most is, on the awareness piece, right? Now, majority of the users are not aware about what are the different kind of avenues where they can, park in some more money, and which can help them save additional taxes, right? I'm
Right.
not only talking about the ATC or ATD kind of, investment avenues where you can park your money, but there are, more kind of avenues, which we'll, discuss while I take you guys through the product.
Mhm.
And most importantly, right, if I, go to a CA or a external tax expert, right, he would, typically charge me anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 rupees, which as a user it might pinch my pockets, right? Because just for, going to a CA and, asking the CA for some, guidance or inputs on how can I save more money, or how can I plan my taxes better, paying 3,000 doesn't make sense. So due to, all these multiple reasons, we thought of, coming up with this automated version of the product, or a tool rather, which a user can use as a DIY method, do it yourself method. Just, simply, add in some data points, and we will, give you a customized, rather personalized report, right? Yeah. So this was our motivation behind the product.
Yeah. So, like you said, you offer customized plans. How is the response for the product been so far? Are people happy with the tax plans that they have purchased?
Yeah. So people are, super happy. They have, liked the product. They have, even gotten back to us with their feedback, right? So in the last 2 to 2.5 odd months, we have received responses from more than 2,000 odd users who have used the product. And we have, recommended and helped them save approximately 32.5 crores in taxes
Oh, that's a
altogether,
lot.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the power and utility of the tool, right? So once I walk the users to the product, they will also understand that how this will help them.
I think we should just then dive right into the walkthrough.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through the
But let
product?
me let me take a few more minutes to just briefly touch upon Ekta on what are the benefits of the
Sure.
product, right? Now, why would anybody use a product like this vis-a-vis, let's say, going to a CA for the same, right?
Sure.
Now,
Yeah.
the benefits of this product audience has been divided into three basic segments. Number one is on the personalization, right? We offer personalized tax planning strategies which will help you have more higher savings. Now,
Yeah.
the tips that we generally recommend will range from putting in relevant amount of money in various sections. For example, whether it's ATC, whether it's ATD, whether it's ATE, or other type of sections related to, let's say, capital gains, which comes under 54, right? Section 54, and there can be many others, right? Uh, we are also, bringing some new features in the current version of the product where any kind of, obligations related to advanced tax payments should also be taken into picture. We also help the user give salary exemption ideas where they can actually, maybe go to their employer and ask for putting their money in various kind of allowances. For example, if I own a car, I can maybe get a driver and pay a separate allowance just for the driver allowance, and that is also tax exempted, right? So those kind of things are coming under picture when it comes to personalizing the tool for anyone, right? That is point number one. Point number two, the kind of investment tips that we offer is not only helping them save more money, but it is also indirectly helping them build more wealth, right? See, some of the ideas that we recommend via this particular tool will actually help the user to beat inflation, right? For example, currently the inflation is standing out to be around 6.1 to 6.2%. We will, tell them, okay, if you are investing in, let's say, an ELSS fund, or if you are investing in, let's say, capital markets, right? You would be typically earning more than this, right? Depending on the kind of strategy that you want to take, whether it's a high risk strategy, whether it's a medium risk or low risk strategy, right? So that is point number one. Point number two, some of the tips that we provide to a user will actually help them plan their retirement better, right? For example, if you put in more money in PPF, or if you start investing in NPS, which will obviously help you save 50,000 more in taxes, it will actually help you in the longer term, not for you, but even for your family, right? So
Yes.
that was around giving investment tips, not restricted to only savings, but also helping any user building wealth, right? The third point is some of the additional out of the box tips which can help a user manage their finances better, right?
Mm.
So I will show you that how we have actually built a simulator which automatically calculates the various components that should be put in under the DA, how much should go for HRA, how can you claim under how much can you claim under LTA, and all those things, right? So anything around optimization of those allowances are also taken care in the product. Number two, we also are launching a feature under the product which is called as capital gains or tax loss harvesting, right? So,
Okay.
for example, if you are a pro capital gain user, or if you are investing in equity, if you are investing in mutual funds, if you have holdings in futures and options also, so we will analyze the trends of your investments from last 1 2 3 odd years, and we will tell you and recommend that, okay, if you are actually having any losses in a financial year, you can actually carry forward those losses, right? Which is allowed under the income tax law. So those kind of strategies are also taken care into picture when it is related to helping a user with a personalized report, right? And more importantly, we also advise any user by keeping in mind the 50/30/20 budgeting rule, right? As in, the 50% of your post-tax income should go for your needs. The 30% of your post-tax income should go for your wants, like your day-to-day expenses or your ad hoc spends. And the
Right.
final 20% of your post-tax income should always go for investing and saving, right? So our entire strategy or advice or tips, whatever you say, is based on these three important pillars of the tool, right? Yes, now maybe we can quickly show our users how the product look like. Yeah, let me present my screen. Yeah, is my screen visible, Ekta, if you can confirm?
No, Abhishek, just a minute. Yes, you
Okay.
can come.
Okay. I would also, request the users, if you have any questions, clarifications that you wanted me and Ekta to answer, please, drop in a note in the chat box, and maybe, we can pick it up after we are done with the session. Okay, so let me continue with the product demo. So this is a very user intuitive and easy to go product for anyone who wants to test and try it on their own. Now the entire product has been divided into four sections. Just follow my cursor. So we have a section on basic info. There is a section where we ask to put in some inputs related to your salary details. If you are having any other kind of income, we'll ask you to add those information as well, and then your tax saving deductions, right? And based on that, we generate a report for you. Now in my case, let me show you what I have inputted. So in the first section under basic information, we'll ask for some demographic related information, right? Now, why is this needed? I will also touch upon that, right? What extra are we offering to a user which can actually help them manage their finances better? Now, apart from name, I also ask you for the age group that you belong to, right? The age group selections has been divided into three parts. Below 60, if you fall between this, which is 60 to 80, and above 80. Now, we also ask you for the residence where you belong from, right? The city as well as the state. So right now, we have divided this into two parts. Any metro, which would be classified as Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, Calcutta, or any other non-metro city, right? So I am currently residing in Bangalore. So I select any other, and I select my state as Karnataka, right? Now,
I would
what?
like to clarify that this
Yeah.
selecting state and residence of city is only for the purpose of calculating HRA. It's not for any
Yes.
other purpose.
Yes, yes, that's right. And it is also related to, how we are comparing this user vis-a-vis the peers who belongs from
Yes.
the same age group as well as from the same city or state, right? So that also will touch base upon Ekta. So after this, what is important for us to understand is what is your investment appetite, right? Whether you are a user who is okay to take high risk, and obviously if you are taking high risk, you will obviously earn more returns, right? Or you are a user who is not uh, that does not have a risk appetite and falls under, let's say, no risk or medium risk category, and obviously the type of returns or whatever we suggest is also according to those things. So as a user, I've selected medium risk and returns, and obviously monthly rent paid. So if you are staying in a rented residence, you can add this figure. But if you are not staying in a rented residence, let's say if you have your own residence, you can even skip this number. Right? Now, obviously after this, if you proceed, you will go to the next section where we will ask your annual or monthly CTC, right? So, basis on that, one important feature of the tool is we auto calculate some of the allowances that would be provided by your employer, right? So, for example, the basic salary plus DA typically for anybody who is working in a metro city would range between 40 to 50%, right? Similarly, your HRA would be around 20 to 30%, right? Your LTA received, if let's say you're working in a company and the company offers you leave travel allowance, that typically ranges between 8 to 9% of your monthly or annual CTC, right? And the provident fund contribution I have taken as a maximum. So since I've opted for a monthly CTC, I've taken 1,800 rupees as my monthly PF contribution. And obviously, there will be some other allowances as well, like your fuel allowance, any other special allowance, right? Which a company might be offering to you. Now, this is completely dependent on whatever we are suggesting, uh, depending on the selection that a user might have inputted in this section of the product under basic info. But these fields are completely editable. So if you feel that this is something which is not in line to what your current employer is offering you, you can even absolutely right. But this is just for the representation purpose, that okay, this these all fields will get auto filled depending on whatever amount you are typing in over here, right? So you do not have to even manually type in anything pertaining to these five fields, right? It will just get pre-filled depending on the backend algorithms that is deployed in the product. Now you can review all these fields as a user. You can select on proceed, right? Now this is a very important section. Now here you have to disclose all your income apart from the one which you have added over here as part of the salary, right? So let's say if I own multiple residences in the city or in country, and if I'm generating, let's say, some rental income from there, so I can simply select this toggle button and just enter my monthly rental income over here, right? So let's say I currently do not own anything, so I can disable the selection. Now, any other income where you can, add your income that you're receiving from the amount that you currently have in a savings. So there would be a savings account deposit rate that your banks would be, offering you. Or let's say if you're holding any FDs, your fixed deposits or RDs, which is your recurring deposit, the interest income that you generate from there, you can even add it over here. If let's say you are investing in equity market, if you are investing in US stock markets also, right? Now, most of the stocks will, offer you certain amount of dividends on a monthly or a quarterly basis, right? So if you have a rough idea or understanding of what is the range of my income that I am receiving from the dividends, you can put it over here as well, right? And any other income apart from these three sources, which is highlighted over here, you can, add it over in this particular field, right? Now, if you do not have anything from these sources, you can even disable this from here, right? But this is the section where you have to disclose all your income related information apart from the income that you're receiving from the employer as salary. The moment you select on proceed, this is the section where we will ask you for the various kind of tax saving investments that you have already declared or you are already aware of, right? For example, let's say if I already am contributing to the provident fund, my employer is deducting a amount on a monthly as well as on an annual basis. So there will be a certain component of it which can be claimed as tax exemption under 80C, right? So that is something which I can put it over here. Now let's say if I'm not investing in anything else which is tax exempted as per 80C law, then I can simply put that figure as a blank, and instead of 1,50,000 I can let's write 1 lakh for an example, right? Now if I am already contributing in NPS, I can add the amount that I am putting in every year, right? And let's say if your employer is also contributing towards NPS, you can put it over here. So this is surrounding your tax saving investments around 80C, 80CCD, 1B and 2, right? Now, more importantly, a lot of our users, this is something which um, came as an observation from our filers from last year, that a lot of users could have saved an additional 25,000 to 50,000 rupees just by taking an additional health insurance, right? Not only for them or their spouse, for an example, but even for the parents. So as per law, right? If you have taken any health insurance, you are paying premium for yourself, your spouse, or children. You can claim a deduction of up to 25,000. The same thing can is also applicable if you are if you have taken any health insurance premium for your parents. Um, but let's say if any one of your parents, whether it's your father or mother, is a senior citizen, you can even claim an additional 25,000 more on top of it, right? So your health insurance premium cap for your parents, in case if they are senior citizen, goes till 50,000, right? So you can select this particular tab if you already have an health insurance plan, right? You can select this tab and you can fill in all those details. If you do not have, you can simply disable this tab. Your HRA and LT exemptions, if you have anything. So let's say in the last year, if you have traveled somewhere and you have declared those travel amounts to your employer as an LT exemption, you can put those numbers over here. An HRA exemption, if you are eligible for it, you can even put it over here, right? Now, outstanding loan is also an important criteria for us to understand, right? That whether you already are aware about everything related to saving money across various sections, or if you are not aware, that where are those avenues where we can suggest you. So let's say if you're not taking any home loan, so you can not fill the section, right? If you have any other loans running, for example, let's say as a student, when I was doing my MBA, I have taken an educational loan, right? And I'm paying an annual interest on the same. So that is something which I have, inputted over here, right? Now, let's say if you have purchased any EV or electric vehicle in the last fiscal year, you can even, take an exemption on the interest uh, that you would be paying on the loan, right? So that is also something which you can add over here. So after you thoroughly go through this 3 to 4 sections under this particular segment, you can simply select on proceed, right? And voila, the tool will throw a high level recommendation on the amount of tax savings that I can save more, right? The amount that I can save more. Now, the moment, so you also get to see something called as a tax vantage score.
Yeah, so this is something exciting. Can you please explain what tax vantage score is?
Yeah, sure. So, tax vantage score is basically our way of representing a user where they stand as of today, right? So, what we do is, since we have a data of our users who have come to us till last year, who have trusted us, who have used our product to file their returns. So, depending on that, what we have done is we have curated our tool in such a way which will help a user identify where they stand vis-a-vis their peers, depending on certain parameters. For example, if my friend who is staying in the same city and he is belonging to the same age group is somehow saving more taxes via investing in XYZ avenues more than me, then obviously the tax vantage score for my friend would be more than 80, right? So this is a representation of where a user is currently standing vis-a-vis, giving a benchmark comparison of what the peers currently are saving as of today, right? So
Yeah.
this is a unique proposition, audience, which you'll typically not find in any other product out there in the market, or neither a CE or tax expert will be able to assist you, right? Because see, as a user, I do not just need the guidance, but I also need the guidance which can help me save more taxes, manage my finances better. Also, understanding what my peers, what my friends, my colleagues would have been doing, right? And something which I'm not completely aware of. So,
Correct.
in
It's the
short, that
level
is
of
the definition of, yeah, tax advantage score,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
So,
So
moving on quickly, yeah, Ekta, yes, you were asking me something, yes.
no, you can continue.
Okay. So as you can see, what the tool has showed up is basically it is saying me that I have only saved 55% of my potential. I can, obviously save around 1,04,000 more in taxes. And obviously, this is a very short summary of, what my existing savings look like and what is ClearTax currently recommending, right? So my existing savings is approximately 1,30,700 rupees, but ClearTax is recommending me that I can, save an additional 1,05,000 more if I can, maybe invest in the right avenues. As a user, if I wanted to understand what are those tax saving options, I simply have to select this button, and I will be, prompted to a screen where the tool will show me all kind of recommendations, right? So a another USP of the product is a lot of tools out there in the market will just show you the uh, amount that you can actually invest in various kind of tax saving instruments, right? But nobody will be mapping those amount that you are investing vis-a-vis the savings that can be achieved, right? So that is something which our product will help a user with, and we are proud to say that we have served more than 3,500 odd users in the last 2.5 months, and we have received an NPS score of more than 95%. Right. So out of 100 users, 95% of the users are showing positive, have given us a positive feedback. So moving on, so as a tool, it will show me where I can save more. For example, this is my savings through exemptions. If I select this, the tool is saying me that okay, I can maybe claim more as a house rent allowance. So as a salaried individual, if you're living in rented houses, you can claim your HRA for expenses related to rented accommodation. It is telling me what is the total claim amount that I can go for and how much tax I can save. Right now, savings through loans, again, one of the important recommendations. So, for example, it is telling me if I am, thinking, or if I've just started my family, right? If I'm thinking of purchasing a house, it can also help me save more taxes if I go for a loan, right? And those deductions will be coming under Section 24B. Now, if I, go for a joint loan along with my wife, I can, save an additional 2 lakh rupees over and above to the 2 lakh amount that I would be, saving on an individual head, right? So I can, claim this as an amount if I, go for an individual claim, and this is the amount of tax that I can save, right? And this is additional information which a lot of users might not, see while trying to take a house from a bank, trying to take a loan from a bank, right? So this is very important, and the construction must be completed within 5 years from the end of the financial year in which the loan was taken. Now, if you want to know more, you can select this tab, and we will take you to a article where we have covered each and every details in minute to the best possible extent, right? Now, obviously, let's say if I am intending to buy a electric vehicle, right? Since government has mandated to reduce the carbon filter content in the country by 2030, so I am assuming in the next 4 to 5 odd years of time frame, majority of the vehicles which are plying on the roads today would be getting converted to electric vehicles, right? So if you are planning to take a vehicle of your own, if you are taking a loan, right, you can again save an additional tax of approximately 7.5 thousand rupees. This is the total claim amount that you can go for, right? And any kind of additional recommendations, for example, if there are certain allowances which the employers also provide, right? A lot of users do not know about it thoroughly, right? So maybe there is an allowance which an employer might be offering to you under books and periodicals, There might be, Paytm food coupons or Sodexo coupons, right? If you own a car, you can, get your fuel allowance and driver allowance as well. If you are having an internet connection, you can, check with your employer whether they give you a mobile or broadband allowance also or not. If you have any gift coupons, right, you can even claim a tax deduction on the same. Now, this is something which is completely up to the user to take, and this also depends on the user to go and check about these kind of allowances with their employer, right? So we are just, suggesting that okay, these might be the kind of allowances that most of the employers today in the market offer to all their employees. So if you have missed out on, taking anything, you can, go for that, opt for it, and save an additional tax up to 44,000 rupees, right? And if you have donated in any social cause or any charitable institution, right, so you can even save some additional taxes under section 80G. If you, let's say, donate a sum of 5,000 rupees, you can save taxes up to 1,500 rupees, right? Okay, some extra financial tips as well, right? So, like a 6 months car rule, right? Your car price should not be more than your 6 months salary. House price rule, emergency fund rule, right? So these are the basic tips that a user might ignore initially when they are, let's say, starting their family or planning to take a car, planning to buy a house of their own, right? Or planning for the retirement. So if you have these 3 to 4 rules at the back of your mind, you would be, kind of sorted. You should not be, worrying a lot about your savings or your investments, right? So that is something which we tell a user. This I've already covered. And one more cool feature that I'll just, like to cover, and then maybe we can close, is our playground feature, right? Now, see, there are, certain investment or tax saving investment avenues that we show it to the user over here, and it is up to the user to, play around with the simulator, right? For example, if I do not select anything, the tool is suggesting me that I have only saved, let's say, 55,500 rupees under my taxes, right? There's a huge opportunity for me to save 2,35,650 rupees. Now, what I can do is I can, go over here and play around with this. So let's say under section 80C investment, if I have not declared the entire amount of, let's say, 1,50,000, right? I can, see, okay, if I have declared, let's say, 99,000 rupees over here, NPS, I have, invested 50,000 for an example. Medical insurance I have not taken, right? Which HR exemption, obviously, if I'm a salaried employee, I would be definitely getting something. And let's say I have not opted for LTA as well, right? I do not have a home loan. I do not have a EV loan as well. So I still have, an opportunity to save an additional 80,000 rupees more, right? How can I do that? I can, go for a medical insurance, right? Where I can opt for an insurance policy not only for me, my spouse, and even for my parents. So I can, maybe select this and see my total amount has increased by 7,000 rupees more, right? Now, simply, let's say if I have traveled somewhere and if there is an LTA allowance being provided by your employer, you can even select this as an option, right? So if you select this, your overall amount also gets increased. So you can, actually play around with this simulator basis on whatever your current plans are, whatever you have invested so far, and whatever you are planning to, declare before 31st of March, right? For the last fiscal year. So this is it from the product standpoint, Ekta. If there are, any questions out there, maybe the audience can, put it in the chat box and we can take it up.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abhishek. The product looks very exciting. Yeah, we have a few questions, so we can start with. So Alok Tripathi has asked, is quarterly bonus included in the tax, or do I have to pay tax on getting quarterly bonus? So I'd like to say that quarterly bonus is a part of your salary. So your employer will deduct TDS on it. In case the TDS is not deducted on that part, or say let's say you've received it in the last quarter, say March, without where TDS is not deducted. In that case, you will have to pay taxes additionally on that. Coming to the next question, Abhishek, there is a question: how will ClearTax handle personal information security?
Okay, so that's a very good question. Let me answer that. So, all the data that we take from the user is, being governed by our ERI license. So, if you are, kind of skeptical and scared that ClearTax might use it for any other kind of cross selling opportunities, that is not going to happen because we restrict ourselves only related to tax products, right? We do not have any other product out there in the market. So that is something which we are bound by the ERI license. ERI here stands for e-return intermediary, which is being governed by SEBI and RBI both. So nonetheless, if I start using your data points and maybe again start reaching out to you, right, for anything else, I might stand a chance of losing my license as well. So we are very compliant in all those angles, and we handle the customer data with utmost importance.
So there is another question on taxes. So up to how much salary we can save tax in old tax regime? Okay, so I think they mean to ask how much tax they can save on salary if they're opting for old tax regime. So under old tax regime, you have a rebate on income of up to rupees 5 lakhs. And also for salaried individuals, there is a standard deduction of 50,000 rupees. So if you club these two, you will get a tax free limit that is 5.5 lakh rupees. On 5.5 lakh rupees salary, you will end up paying no taxes. And coming to the next question.
So
So
Ekta,
something,
I'm
yeah,
just pasting the product link also on the chat box. So if it's visible to the audience, they can even test the product and try the product on their own, right? I,
yeah.
I just thought of
We'll also
using.
add it in the description box below. In
Yeah,
case you want to try the product, you can click on that link. So I'll take up the next question. To avail HRA exemption, do we have to produce actual rent receipts?
yeah.
So yeah, you will have to produce actual rent receipts to your employer, and only then you will get that deduction. And then, can I
So,
pay rent?
so just
Yeah,
an add-on to that question. So, it depends on the employer again, right? So, for example, in our company, we have to, show our rent receipts. But in some of the organizations that I've seen, uh, they also might have to, share the rental agreement, right?
yeah, yeah.
For the last 12 months. So,
Correct.
it again depends on the employer on a case-to-case basis. It can be only rent receipts or it can be a combination of both, rent
Correct.
receipts plus rental agreement.
Yeah, these two are the proofs for HRA declaration.
Yeah.
And then the next question is again around HRA. Can I pay rent to my father and claim HRA? And how much can I claim living in a non-metro city?
Yeah.
So you can pay rent to your father and claim HRA, but you have to have an agreement in place. You can
Yes.
find the rent agreement draft on our website. You can type rental draft or rent receipts draft also on our website, and you can get that done on a stamp paper and get it fixed by a notary. And then coming, you will also have to transfer that amount. So say in case you're transferring more than 1 lakh, you will also have to furnish your father's PAN number in the ITR, or I'm sorry, to your in your investment declaration. So when you're doing this, what happens is your father's PAN will be tracked, so you will also have to file your father's return. So these things you will have to take care of. Coming to the next question, for Abhishek, this is for you. How much do I have to pay to purchase your?
Okay. So currently, we are running a all-time exclusive and limited offer till 31st of March, where we are giving a flat discount of 70% on MRP. The product cost stands at INR 149 rupees. So we charge a nominal fee for the kind of personalization and reporting that we provide to a user, right? So basis on whatever inputs the user is inputting in these four sections, at the end of the product journey, you would be prompted to a screen where you can download a personalized report with more information than whatever I have shown in the product demo today, right? Because it's a very personalized report, so obviously there will be a lot of other details which might be confidential to me as a user, but I will not like to show it to anyone else, right? So for those reasons, we typically charge a nominal amount.
Yes. There is also another question. Are there any health insurance policies with money back options? So it depends from policy to policy. You will have to read the policy agreement. There will be few policies which will say within 6 months of opting for the policy, you can claim the money back. But that is only if you have a claim free history. If you have not made any claims in the past, only then you will get the money back. Then comes another question. Okay, there's a question from Mahima. She asks, can we showcase HRA to avail tax benefits while filing ITR? Yes, Mahima, you can do it, but you will also have to be careful. In case you receive a notice from income tax department, then you will also have to submit the proofs to them. You don't have to submit any proof while filing ITR, but in case the income tax department comes back to you with a notice, you will have to submit all the proofs. So please keep these handy. So Jack is writing, didn't get the product demo link. Uh, just a minute.
So I have pasted the product link on the chat box. Let me know, Ekta, if I need to do it again.
Okay. I will just add the product link in the description. Okay. So that will be added in the chat box for you. Uh, Rafal has a similar question. Is it true that we cannot edit HRA during ITR? No, Rafal, you can edit HRA. You can change all the components while filing ITR, but you should just make sure you have proofs for all those supporting all your claims in the ITR. Okay. We're waiting for more questions. So somebody is asking, is there a provision for calculation of tax or savings under Portuguese civil code in Goa? So I think you will have to talk to a tax expert and get your queries answered. This is, I think you will have to give specific details for this.
So some of the things we are, taking into consideration. I sorry I didn't catch the name of the user who has posted this query. So being having said that, the point which you raised is something which is under works, and in the next versions of the product, you'll see a lot of new features being rolled out, which might help your specific use case as well, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Abhishek. And Rafil has another question. Can we declare NSCAI next year if we miss it this year? I believe you're talking about NSC, that is National Savings Certificate. No, Rafil, you will have to declare it in the year in which you have made the investments. All the investments made in that particular year will be taken for deduction. So Alok has a question. When can I claim my deducted amount, which I have paid as tax this year? Means 2022, and how? Alok, can you please elaborate on your question? If I understand, are you asking about if you've made an investment in 2022 and when can you claim that as a deduction? So if you have made an investment in say 2022, like April 2022 to March 2023, you will be able to claim all those deductions while filing your return in this July 2023. Kunjal has a question. If I don't file ITR of my mother and pay her rent and claim HRA, Kunjal, like we discussed, if the total rent paid to your mother, like if the total rent amount you're considering in your HRA calculation exceeds or is more than rupees 1 lakh, then you will have to furnish PAN name of your mother. So then it becomes very important to file her return also. So I think we've taken all the questions. If there are any more questions, leave them in the chat box. We'll get back to you shortly. I hope you try our product, and you can always come back with your questions on this YouTube video. It'll be on the live section and we'll answer all your queries related to the tax planner. Thank you so much. Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Ekta, for inviting me, and thanks, audience, for giving us your valuable time today. And hope to see most of you try our product, and do get back to us if there are specific inputs or feedback. And we'll obviously reach out to all the users who have used the product, right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.